Oh, Jesus Christ.
What the hell was that?
The portal's gone. What's that?
A city? Wait,
Yeah, that's
no. There's no cars. I think it's a town.
I don't know if that's the defining factor, but...
I think it might be, actually. Where's my husband? Where's my fucking... He should be right here.
He's probably at a bar in the city.
Straight to a bar.
Not straight, but like...
Think he gets transported and his first thought is like, I should have beer, not like where my wife is?
You know, he would have he would have sooken out shelter.
Okay.
Like he would, yeah. Let's head down into the city.
Yeah.
I bet you he's down there at least. Maybe not in a bar.
Yeah.
But does that city look familiar?
It seems a little bit.
I know we've never been there, but like the white palace thing in the middle. Is this Scotland? Like the whole mountain thing over there?
I am getting Scotland vibes. That castle thing in the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
That's very
feels a bit Scottish.
Yeah.
Let's head in.
Is that Center Street?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to
These people are dressed really cool.
Really weird. Like, do you think they're doing Ren Fair?
A lot of people doing it. Is that?
Mead on
Do you
the
hear
side,
Nate?
I think. So I came
It sounds
through
like
the
it's
portal alone.
coming from that bar over
Jade and
there,
Aaron
the
won't
Green-Eyed
be
Beast.
with me today.
He better. There's no
but
fucking
we're
way.
gonna
He
get
better
right
not
into
be
it,
in the
'cause
bar.
I think I'm here in Aydindril. So we are gonna kick this episode off here with chapter 1.
Well, Nate! Hey!
What are you doing?
Dude,
Hey guys!
what the fuck, dude? What are you doing?
I'm recording the podcast.
Hey, where are you right now?
We're in Aydindril. Didn't you guys see the street sign out there? It's Stentor.
Nate, that can't be your only information that this is Aydindril.
Yeah.
You're just sitting here all chill, drinking a beer, recording a fucking podcast?
Hey, look, I've been here a week. I waited for you guys for a couple of days by that weird fucking portal, but you never showed up. So then I just, decided to come into town and sook out some shelter.
I knew it.
I can't.
Yeah, so I figured I'd start the podcast while I waited for you guys, because I figured there's some weird timey-wimey stuff going on, and you'd be around. Oh, by the way, here, I got a couple copies of the book for each of you, because, they're so tiny.
You had Dead of... Okay, well, that's good.
Oh, so you want to do Dead of Bones. That's what your plan was. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you at least get us a beer?
Well, of course I did. Here.
This seems a little light.
Yeah, do they normally come half full?
Well, okay, so I've been here for a minute. I can get you some new beers, probably. Hey, matter of fact, while we're here, why don't we just do the thing? I mean, people have been asking for us to start Dead of Bones anyways, so I think it's the perfect opportunity.
Well, I definitely need to sit the fuck down and process what the hell just happened.
Yeah.
I think we should relax and figure out what just happened. But you are going to have to restart the intro if
What?
we were going to record.
But I did it good the first time. Did you hear that? It was perfect.
Nate, there is absolutely no way that we could use this as the intro.
Hello, Seekers, and welcome back, or welcome to the Sword of Truth podcast, the chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with Craft Brew on the side. I am Nate, and I'm here with my two time-traveling companions, Jade and Aaron.
Hello!
Oh!
Woo, 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 this is what my voice sounds like now. I'm just kidding. That's not what's going to happen.
And today we are finally cracking the cover of Debt of Bones.
Bada boom!
Fuck yeah.
We are cracking it in half. We are physically harming this book.
What?
What?
It is quite small.
Wow, I just I don't know what I was going to say because I am so baffled by that response from Aaron.
Crack that book in half.
We, in a manner of speaking, yes, we are going to do that. We are also going to give a huge thank you to all of our listeners, especially our patients. I promise I have no patience. Our patrons, thank you.
Who have been patient.
Who have been very patient. I'm not saying I'm a doctor. I want to make that very clear.
You did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, though.
That's right.
They have been super awesome, being patient. All of our listeners have. And we are so glad that you're still here with us. I also do want to say thank you to the owner of the Green-Eyed Beast who's allowing us to set up in
Very
here.
nice.
It's really
That's right.
nice.
Very
They
nice.
gave us some rooms that they're all right. I mean, considering that we didn't have a place to stay, they're great.
Mead on tap is nice. Very nice. Some ales, some meads. They got some hard stuff, but I haven't tried it. I think it might kill me.
Well, we got our nice little corner booth set up here. We got our beers. I think let's get into this book, shall we?
Let's crack it open.
Hey, but for real, a little bit of chills. I had a little bit of chills hearing that music. It's been a while.
Me too. I am super glad to be back on Sword of Truth and can't wait to get into this book. This is one, it's unique. It's not a chapter book, it's a novella. So it is much shorter. That's right. So I had to decide where to make the breaks.
Yeah.
So if this podcast falls flat and it's not suspenseful enough, that's my fault. That's me thinking I'm a better author sometimes, and that's just not the truth.
No, I think that we have to deliver in order to make that happen. It's on me and Aaron. So we just got to come up to your level.
Yeah, you're the bread, we're the meat. We're going to feed you.
I have no idea how to respond to
Hey,
that.
shove
I'm
right in
rusty.
your-
I'm rusty,
right
okay?
here.
I got to get back into it.
So, anyways, why don't we stick with tradition as we always do here in the studio and begin at the beginning with the very front cover.
Stop.
What?
Dob. I think she's saying.
Let's talk about the cover. Stop.
I just wanted to put it at the top.
What's happening?
I just wanted to set the precedent. That's what I'm calling this. It's going to be Dob.
Welcome to the Sword of Truth podcast. We're talking about Dob today. It does say Dead of Bones on the cover. Okay, you gotta give her credit. That's part of the cover.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Right.
I really like this though, because this is exactly what I picture if you say, hey, medieval Middle Earth fantasy. This is the setting I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Old dude in a robes looking at a skull with a lady watching him. This is it.
Wow.
In a tower. They're very clearly in a tower. This is fucking magical as shit.
I would like to point out, well, obviously, the book is called Dead of Bones. So obviously, bone on the cover is skull.
Wait, so it should be Dead of Bone.
Well,
There's only one bone on the cover.
Well, they each have a lot of bones.
Okay, fair point. All right, I'm gonna sit back down.
as previously mentioned, not a doctor. So I don't know how many bones are there, but that's a skull for
I think
sure.
there is at least 2 bones in our bodies for sure.
Yeah.
So plural. Okay, I retract my statement. Everything's fine.
Also want to point out the window here. It's not exactly a grace, but it is kind of representative of that shape.
Oh yeah.
It kind of evokes that feeling.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
circles and the squares. Now, I don't know if maybe, right? Because we've had history with Keith Parkinson, the painter of this image
We've had history.
before. Well, Terry has, not us necessarily. But if you'll look, there is a circle here, and the whole thing is framed in a square kind of frame. So it could be a misread of the actual shape, or it's a window. Why do you want all the shit in the middle of the window? That makes a bad window.
That's my favorite part of the window is the crosshairs. Said no one ever.
Now, there are 8 rays there too. So,
Oh.
I mean, like the rays in the grace, there are 8 rays in the grace, and the
Right.
rays go through the corners, which is so this is a representative of the grace.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just not exactly what the shape is when you think of it, or
Right,
draw
right.
it out on paper.
Right.
But
It
it's
just-
supposed
it
to evoke
evokes-
that.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. It's evocative. Evocation. There's evocation happening.
I'm pretty sure at least one of those was right.
I love the food in the painting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sitting off to the side of the wizard there, half eaten.
because of who we end up finding out the wizard is. Food is.
It makes perfect sense.
Yes, he should have food in his images.
Well, okay, I will get into kind of the summary of the whole book a minute. Dead of Bones by Terry Goodkind, again written in August 1998, is a story about Abigail. Gonna go ahead and assume that's the lady on the cover there.
That's my assumption.
Hopefully.
Abigail is a young mother. Her country is at war, and Abigail is willing to sacrifice everything to save those she loves. Abigail hurries to save her daughter while trying to convince a powerful wizard, called the First Wizard, to answer a debt of bones.
Oh, it's the name of the... they did it. So I'm assuming that's the first wizard then, too.
That would be the first wizard, and this is Abigail.
I would think the first wizard would have white hair.
You'd think so?
Yeah. I feel like that would be part... Like, as soon as you become first wizard, your hair turns white. It's a preference thing.
Yeah, it's a preference thing. He should have dyed his hair immediately.
He should have dyed his hair. Do magic.
We do have a note from the actual artist. I thought this was kind of interesting because we've never had one of these before about the specific one we're talking about.
That is interesting.
He says, this is a cover for a short story that is a part of the Sort of True series, but takes place earlier than the novels. In this piece, a young Zed is judging a request made by a woman before him. As is the case with most scenes that are full of objects, the biggest challenge with this was getting everything to look like it was placed casually and create a lived-in look.
Yeah.
Can't be too clean.
Well, yeah, because when you're drawing, you are like in definition planning out your scene. So when you're planning a scene that's supposed to look not planned, it's kind of difficult because you do put things in places intentionally, but they're there to look unintentional.
I noticed that the books were facing different ways. So like sometimes he sets them down and he's sitting here. Sometimes he's walking around his desk and sets them down the other way.
Yeah.
It's all just a little haphazard.
It's funny though, because it's like, oh yeah, like random means lived in. But then at the same time, it's like, my books are stacked the same way.
Oh yeah.
I don't care where I set them down. I actually put back cover to back cover.
We know that Zed, right, had his books stacked in a weird spiral way, standing up anyway. This is just this book here. There's only 3 or 4 books there, so it's just beginning.
Yeah.
That's what lived in looks different for each person.
True, that is true. No, but I feel like it's always the assumption that, I got to make this look lived in, so it's got to be dirty and chaotic. And it's like, no, a lot of people lived in neat.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't all have to be dirty. But it does. It absolutely makes sense for it. I mean, look, it's on the front cover. Like it's in the book before you read the chapter. I assumed that this was going to be Zed, So like, I don't know if like when you guys first read the book, if that felt like a spoiler, because you're like, oh, I guess the book's about Zed. I don't know if we were supposed to learn that because I haven't even read the first chapter yet. It's just the foreword.
I feel like, because obviously I had already been reading the books when the book had been out. I was 8 years old when it was published. So I think that we found out about the existence of the book, and in doing so, you find out that it's about Zed and some of where it goes in the timeline, so where you can listen. So in figuring out where you should read the book because of its weird prequel-likeness, you do find out a couple of little spoilers in that, and I think that kind of, that leads to why we're doing it now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a prequel, but you don't really want to read it before all of the other books because then you don't have the context for some things. So,
well, I mean, you don't think they meant it to be like a twist surprise? Like it was like, no, it's a book about Zed.
Yes.
Like, we're not hiding that it's Zed, but we're just like, because of the way the first part of the book goes, you don't know it's Zed right away.
Yeah.
Like, it probably wasn't supposed to be a surprise twist.
I mean, when it first came out in 1998,
that's what I mean.
Maybe it was supposed to be, but it wasn't a hidden thing.
No, Terry went on record, actually. We do have a quote here about this book. Yeah. Oh, I did some research. Because he really wanted to tell the story of Zed and how everything kind of got started in the world. And he also thought that right after Temple of the Winds was kind of the best place to do that, because at the end of Temple of the Winds, we're set up for the rest of the series. It's like it took 4 books for all the pieces to fall into place, but now we're in the war with Jagang, and like the shit has kicked off now.
Yeah, the war with Jagang, and Darkin has finally been fully released from his mortal prison.
Right.
And, you know, will come back
again
more powerful than before somehow. Yep. I can see it. All the pieces are there.
But so now I think he wanted to take a little bit of a break and be like, okay, let's just take a look at how all of this really kicked off with just the whole backstory. Everybody knows everything now.
I also think it's helpful because, like another book series that we read, you come up with ideas, right? And you just kind of throw them out there. You don't dive into them too deeply. But then later on in your series, if you haven't fleshed out those ideas and how those things happen, it gets a little bit more complicated. So, like, we know that Zed was there when the veil was put up. We know that he was in the Midlands for a while. We know that his daughter was raped, and then they went to the Westland. But that's all you have, those little bits and pieces. It gets confusing, and I think the farther we go into the series, if you don't have some of that backstory, you start going, oh, what the fuck? Why did Zed? And so I think this maybe gives a little bit more context to that too. And I think it's helpful. And maybe some other authors could have done something like that.
So I can see that for sure, because Zed is like a revenge / protective father / grandfather. Like that's his character. Like, yeah, I don't know anything about when he was first wizard during the quote unquote good time. Well, I know this isn't the good times, but you know.
Yeah, they weren't actually good times.
Pre-breaking or, you know, pre-veil. I'm curious to see, like, if it's going to be like, oh, like that it adds a little bit to Zed. And
clarifies the story a little bit.
As big, you know, I'm sure bigger decisions are going to get made soon. It's like, ooh.
Well,
that's not like an angry decision. That's because of the thing before.
It'll highlight some of the reasons that those decisions are being made. This book does that to a T.
And the confusingness of the timeline. Like, how did he get from, like, he was in the Midlands, but then he went to Westland, but his daughter was raped by somebody who lived in Dahara.
Yeah.
And the veils were up. So, you know, I'm excited. I know I've read this. Don't remember most.
Interesting. It's a great book. Well, I had the same kind of experience because we spend a lot of our time thinking about the greater arc and the lore there, and I forget so many of the little mannerisms that you get to see in Zed. And everyone is fucking great. Like, this is where all of those supposedly come from. So they're all here.
Hey, also, this is like we are there, so we get to kind of
maybe we'll see some of it.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that I'm already curious to go back after reading this and reread book 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I said confidently. Yeah. But just like already knowing that it's like you get to know Zed more. And it's like, well, I already know Zed. So now I want to go back and, you know, see if there was things before. There's like, oh, here's a little breadcrumb. You know, a little bit of a tease.
Yeah, but you said that you had a note. Is that what Terry said, or did we have something else that he directly quoted about this?
No, yeah. We have an actual quote from an interview with him.
Oh, okay.
But actually, we are going to grab a beer real quick.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Do you want the mead again, or do you want to go ale this time?
Oh, we got to do mead for sure.
Do the mead? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go up and get it. Okay. Because you got the first ones. You drank half of them, but you did get the first ones.
Yeah.
I'll get the mead.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. We're going to take a break real quick, and we will be back right after this.
Well.
Hey, Aaron, what did Maggie give us to drink today?
We have today from motherfucker Adesanya.
Nope.
Why can't I do this right?
Adesanya
mead and microbrewery. And hey, you know what? It's just a struggle for me to get it because I'm a little bit of a freak. And that's what we're drinking today. We're drinking a mead that goes by the name Real Freaks.
Real Freaks.
And it's a carbonated blueberry pomegranate mead. 8 100%, and you know the drill. Share, sip, enjoy. My friends, please let me know. What are we dealing with here? What are our smells? What are our sips? Lay it on me, because I'm a freak.
Holy shit. First smell is very honey and like blueberry. The actual taste is full blueberry.
Wow.
I already know my rating. It's not even a decision.
That is a goddamn blueberry pancake, and you took a bite where it was just a blueberry cluster.
No.
No?
No. The pomegranate is coming in very equally in there, and it's cutting that blueberry in order for me to be able to enjoy that.
Oh,
Because
no.
Blueberry heavy things, not that big of a fan of. If it tastes like a blueberry muffin, nah. It's a no. I'll drink it if I have to. This, I can drink. I like this. It's the pomegranate is holding hands with the blueberry.
I was going to say, I feel like they're lifting each other up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're holding hands together.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, are you saying it's bad? Because
right.
I think I
No,
disagree.
No, I was disagreeing with you. Both were like, that's blueberry. That's just blueberry. And I was like, no.
Oh,
the
yeah.
pomegranate does help it quite a bit.
It's a marriage.
Yeah, hey.
It's a fantastic fucking flavor profile. They're
God,
both dark red fruits.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm in. I'm struggling to think of a number, though. Do one of you guys have a number you're ready? And look, we're rating it out of 10 freaks. Because this meat is real freaks. And we're getting real freaky. Give me your freaky rating, baby.
I am so upset. I think I need to leave. Can some more people come in here and sit between us, please? Thank you.
I need an adult.
God.
Jade's all alone on her side of the table with Aaron.
Jesus.
I'm going to look straight up, 11 freaks.
Wow.
This,
we're breaking the record.
A
Freaks on a
perfect
leash,
score,
like
100%.
those fucking kids. That's what. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Except they're off the leashes because that's fucked up. But yeah, no, this is it gets a perfect score for me. Hands down. I love
All right.
this.
I think that's probably 9.
9?
Yeah.
Jade, I'm not going to lie. That's right where I'm at. This is a real solid 9. I like it. I like it a lot.
I would almost say 10 because I don't know what a beer has to do. I kind of feel bad for beer. It means in front, like I feel like they're standing in front of me in their best dress right now, going, "What do you want from me?" And I don't have an answer, so it might be a 10. But I hesitate to say that.
So this, for you, this is similar to the coconut thing. Like, yeah, I realize the coconut flavor. I know it's trying its best.
No,
it's just not good enough for me, though.
No. What I'm saying is, I love this and it's delicious.
Yeah,
and I'm just not giving it a 10 just because I'm scared to give.
Because you're
a
afraid
10.
to know what comes beyond. If that's a 10,
I see.
Yeah.
Yes, I have misplaced this comparison.
Yeah, so I just that's my thoughts.
Hey, sounds like we're all on the same page. Why don't we get back to the pages in the book right about now?
And we're back.
Oh, hello. Yeah, here, hold on. That's for you.
Ah, thank you,
And
sir.
that's for you. It's crazy that timed out perfectly.
Just lucky, I guess. All right. So Terry Goodkind says, Dead of Bones was a priceless opportunity for me amid the sweep of a series to write an independent short novel delving into the life of a character I've always wanted to write more about. Many times while writing about the human themes that are important to me, there is more to the story than I can include in the book I'm working on. Stories about past events or how something came to be. This tale lifts the shroud from one of those past events. How did the boundaries really come to be? What could have brought such a cataclysmic event? This is, in part, the untold story of the genesis of the boundaries, and yet it is far more. I value writing stories set in places I would like to be and about people I admire. I like to write about characters we can recognize from our own lives, people we can readily identify and relate to, and also about the people we would like to know. Above all, the characters must come alive for me as I write. They must ring true. In this world, as in ours, an individual, no matter how helpless they believe they are, can sometimes make a choice that will change their world, and not always for the better. This is such a tale. I wanted to tell the story of one such individual, Abby. A young woman at the mercy of others, powerless against forces she cannot fully understand, much less control, and above all else, desperate for help. It's also the story of Zed as a young man coming into the height of his power at the center of a great struggle for the future not only of his people, but of the world. Life and death are at his command, yet he is impotent in the face of wishes he cannot grant. Thank you, Jade. Not only to a woman who needs his help, joke doubled, but to himself. I'm sure he did not intend that when he wrote this. Dangling in the balance is the destiny of a young child. Born on the winds of treachery comes a woman bearing a debt of bones. Ooh. I want readers to ask themselves, what would they do if faced with the same choices as Abby and Zed? How would they choose? Okay, so this is like, you know that show that's on like public access TV? That's like, what would you do? And then it presents you with like the scenarios, like you see somebody who's all right,
stealing.
so there's an old guy and a hot blonde on the railroad. Yeah. Which one is dying? And you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. And then they film people's like reactions in real life and like, why'd you choose what you did?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No?
No.
Oh, man. We have to find it for Aaron.
Yes. That sounds fun. I mean, I like watching those weird Japanese game show obstacle race things. Those are kind of weird, too. But I don't think it's the same thing.
No, I think you're on a totally different place. That's fine, though. But yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about. We wanted to get a little bit deeper into, you know, the origin of stuff. I wish that we got more of these novellas throughout the book about like each of the characters. I wish each of the characters
got their own little offshoot.
Yes.
Like either flashback or like, hey, this happened between this event and this event, but like here's a little small thing that doesn't really matter, but it shows you a little bit of this character.
I mean, really, long term, that's
and
what
Rachel.
This is.
Like
because
a real quick, here's Chase and Rachel on their way back to the Midlands.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
the other one.
There are books that go way further back than this one in the series.
Oh, yeah.
So technically, that's what this is. But I'm glad that Terry did this for Zed because I like Zed very, very much. I think he's fucking hilarious. The funny, wise old man, and I dig that. Chase would have been great. You looking Egan would have been so good.
Yeah. I think too, I mean, this is kind of important. He kind of says it is like, you get to a point, you know, where like, we're already seeing like the power scaling of the things these main characters can do. And this brings it back down and it does, you know, it sounds like it's going to be more like, hey, you can't just lightning bolt and firebolt your way through this one.
Right.
You know, it's like, you got to make the right choices. And it's like, yeah, I can put myself in those shoes more easily because I don't know how to cast spells. I'm saying on record, I don't know magic. So this is a way to help me relate. I like it. It's, you know, because as the series goes, it's going to be like, oh, do I save one country or 3 countries? I don't know. I've never been in that situation.
It does go into, like we were talking about before, Zed's reasoning for why he makes certain decisions. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's really interesting. It also goes into more about how the magic actually works and like the complications that come with it. Yeah. And those big, powerful spells that people just can't pop off whenever they want. There's like a whole hierarchy of shit that has to get set in line before they can even do things like that.
Yeah, yeah. You got to have a little foreplay before you can pop off. It's good to be back.
I know, right? It feels just right.
Look, let's be honest, okay? At the time of this recording, I've already read the first part that we're going to discuss.
That's right.
In the next episode. And I don't think that comment is too far off for all the talk we're going to have in that first book, or first part. There is a lot of specific talk that happens, and I plan on highlighting it.
Okay.
I mean, that's what we're here to do.
That, yeah.
That's a tease, baby.
Yeah, just teasing a little bit. All right, well, I'm excited. I'm very happy to be back here with the Dead of Bones, and I'm happy to be here, even though we're away from home, and I'm not really sure how long this is going to last, but we're going to enjoy it while we can and keep drinking. Yeah. Because that's the best thing to do when you don't know what to do.
I did set up a deal with the bartender over there. Well, we're going to have some patrons of the bar here just listening to us chat, and they can, like, throw us some coins, hopefully.
Toss a coin to your
for
podcaster.
listening to the show. And so maybe we can get some beer money. And if it's enough, maybe we can get one of these rooms upstairs.
And we can say that here because I don't think trademark law started yet. Like the time we're currently in, I don't think there's trademark. We can sing Beatles right now.
I don't think we can. I don't think we can.
I think we can. Ready?
By the way, Jade, I did work out a deal that Aaron could work in the kitchen, so we could actually get a room.
I'm a hell of a cook.
Yeah. Well,
Hell yeah.
I think that's why it's important that we keep mentioning the green-eyed beast. If you are ever in the Midlands and you need a drink, you should stop by because it's really hospitable, and we're gonna just make sure that we mention them all the time to keep that line open.
It is quite the fine dining establishment.
Yeah, the Green-Eyed Beast. When you think you're starting to get a little tired, head on over to the Green-Eyed Beast and you'll get a little more energy. That's their slogan.
Wow.
Okay.
Did that sound natural? I was told
to
it sounded a little scripted earlier.
Thank each and every one of you for listening. If you wanted to let us know what you thought of the front cover of this book or anything we had to say about it, you can send a podcast email to my brain realized that I'm about to say something different that I've said in a while, and it totally shut down. If you want to let us know what you thought about this episode, you can send an email to podcastatt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on any of our social medias. And if you really enjoyed this episode, you can go to patreon.com/podcastatt and join a tier of any amount. We would love to see you there.
You have drank multiple beers. That is canon.
I have been waiting since early this morning to start recording. I had a feeling you guys were going to show up today. So I pre-gamed. What can I say?
It's in the lore.
Wow.
It's canon now. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.
Cheers.